Good morning, everybody. Thursday morning. I think it's the 4th or the 5th. 5th, maybe? Okay. What is going on? It's getting worse and worse for the Democrats. I don't know where to begin today. So I got to start with the funny. President Trump calling Justin Trudeau two-faced in a press conference with the Chancellor of Germany sitting next to him might have been the funniest thing I've seen in a while. Most of you might know what happened, but basically Trump told Trudeau Canada has to cough up their fair share of NATO. I mean, every country's supposed to put in 2% of their GDP. The U.S. puts in between 3.5% to 4% of its GDP. The U.S. has the largest GDP of any country. So even if every country put in 2% and we put in 2%, we'd still be putting in a ton more than anybody else. So what happens? Trudeau gets caught on a hot mic talking to Macron and some other guy, talking about, yeah, Trump's late, he had to do a 40-minute presser, and he's always doing shit, blah, blah, blah. So apparently the press ran with it. It's supposed to be a big deal. I didn't see the incredible insult, but it wasn't nice to talk behind his back. So when asked during a press conference, after talking to Angela Merkel, what fucking name? One of the reporters says, well, what do you think about this thing going around about Trudeau, what he said? Because he's two-faced. First words out of his mouth. I mean, he's a nice guy, and I just, he needs to pay his fair share. I thought that, and then later that day, Trudeau had to walk back. Oh, I didn't exactly mean it the way it sounded. It was classic. This is why we voted for President Trump. Now, let's get to the Judiciary Committee and the hearing. The Democrats got to call 3 witnesses. All 3 are constitutional scholars who apparently haven't read the Constitution in a while. And the Republicans get 1. 3 for the Democrats, 1 for the Republican, because like the other hearing, it's been fair for the Republicans and Trump. So the Democrats pick anti-Trump, Trump-hating, Trump derangement syndrome victims. They have tweets from 2017 and 2018. Oh, the president should be should be impeached for his Mar-a-Lago ad. One said the president should have been impeached for calling the media, fake news. This is a Harvard or some Ivy School law professor, okay? Supposedly a constitutional expert. Says President Trump should be impeached for calling the media fake news. What the fuck Constitution is this guy looking at? He might be a constitutional scholar, but it's not the U.S. Constitution, I can tell you that. So the Democrats pick these 3 fucking jerk-offs. Who do the Republicans pick? If you haven't seen it, I don't remember his name. Anybody who knows me knows I'm horrible with names. Go on YouTube, find his opening statement, his Q&A, whatever. Watch it all. The Republicans pick a Democrat who did not vote for Trump, who voted for Clinton and Obama, and this guy smoked them. I mean, smoked them, left them speechless. One part was like, you want to impeach the president for going to the courts. Every time the Congress wants a subpoena Trump and do this to Trump and do that to Trump. Trump fights it in the courts. Win some, you lose some. So he says, you want to impeach the president for going to the courts. He's allowed to. There are 3 branches of government, not 2. When there's a disagreement between the executive and legislative, they go to the judiciary. That's one of its purposes. So he tells them that. Another part, he says, he tells them, want to try to get it as close to possible. You want to make a high crime and misdemeanor for Trump going to the courts or something, I forget what it is. He goes, that's an abuse of power. That's your abuse of power, telling this to Congress. He goes, you're doing what you're accusing the president of doing. And I was like, knockout punch. Fucking unbelievable. The Q&A was great. The Republicans just chewed them up and spit them out. And one of them just said, which one of you has any facts bearing on this impeachment? Any of you have any facts bearing on this impeachment? Raise your hand. Woo! Williamsburg Bridge needs to fix that. So he says that. Crickets. Listen, there's no way in front of a stupid judge and a stupid jury. If this were a regular trial, there's no way the Democrats would win this. So I really can't see them writing up the articles of impeachment, but these people are fucking idiots. This whole thing has been one big circus, literal clown show. It's gonna be interesting what happens after now. I mean, the Republicans were supposed to get, as a minority, they're supposed to get a day to call who they want to call. But I don't think that's going to happen. They can't allow that to happen. They've been stepping on the rights of Trump, his people. You got Schiff. I'm going to assume he's not dumb enough not to do it this way. So I'm going to assume Schiff somehow went and got a subpoena from, I don't know how dumb of a judge, got a subpoena for the phone records of John Solomon, a reporter, Devin Nunes, a congressman, Rudy Giuliani, the president's personal attorney. Can these people step on any more rights of Americans? This is the president of the United States and the people around him. This is congressmen. This is the press. What do you think they would do if this fucking evil Democrat Party turned on you? What do you think they would do to you? Are you financially secure enough to take on this show? Yeah, I doubt it very much. But we shall see. We shall see. And something's got to happen. I don't know. Like I said, they're dumb enough to impeach, to let this go to a Senate trial. But if they had half a brain, they would just take their losses and just let it be. Let it be. I would like Trump. First off, Trump should have did with the, let's go back to the NATO thing. This is one thing I wish Trump would have said, but he needs to say this in front of all the NATO members. When they sit around that big ass table, when they had that breakfast that time, and Trump first said, you got to put your share. Trump should say, well, the U.S. is going to have a new policy with NATO now. There's 27, 28 NATO countries. Whichever country brings in the lowest percentage of their GDP, the U.S. will match it. So if Canada, which isn't Canada, I don't think, but let's say Canada gave 1.27% of their GDP to NATO, and that was the lowest of everybody else put in 1.5, 1.82. And the United States puts in 1.27%. It'll still probably match or outdo every other country's GDP and the amount they put in. Trump should have said that. But the other thing Trump should do is Trump should pull all the Republican congressmen aside and say, look, you guys may have to take one for the team. When they have this vote, they're going to have 20, 30, 40, 100. They're going to vote to impeach. The 31 that are not in the Trump's district, I don't think they're going to vote to impeach. They can't. They'll lose their seat. So Trump might have to tell all 180 whatever Republican congressmen vote to impeach. Because this thing, if this thing ends with them trying to do censure or not voting it, it'll still be, well, he did impeachable stuff, but we really didn't think it would be. They'll spin their way out of it like they always do. This needs to go to a trial. Witnesses need to be called. Evidence needs to be shown. Trump needs to be exonerated, 100%. That's the only way the American people will see that this whole thing was a sham. Well, that's all I got. On my way to the job. Be there in 20 minutes. It was wonderful talking to you. I will catch you with more information. Oh, remember this week? Remember what I said? Day before Thanksgiving? Turkeygate? Turkey got mentioned a lot this week in the NATO stuff. It's starting. The seeds are being planted in the people's heads. We'll see. Bye.